Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to sunny Maine. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm in my new kind of office space that I've designated for myself around the house. It's kind of just a little nook around the corner here. You can see the railing, and it's like kind of where the hallway ends. And I have a desk in front of the window, which is nice. Um, I know it's been a little while. I apologize. I've been dealing with a lot of house things, putting things together, redoing rooms, laying down floors, painting walls, painting ceilings, and just the general upkeep of the house has been pretty demanding. And so I've been doing a lot of, putting cribs together, beds together, rockers, and baby stuff. So I've been in dad mode for the last few weeks. Um, so it's obviously great and it's a blessing, but it's very time consuming as well. So it's like as soon as you sit down, there's something else to do. I'm going through a little bit of a cold right now. We just had a lot of rain and snow recently, and it was like change back and forth. Anyway, that's not the point of this video, guys, but I want to talk a little bit about something that I've been experiencing the past few days, especially in the gym and kind of anywhere in public, really, and that's anxiety. We've talked a little bit about depression on this channel, which is something that I deal with, and YouTube, among other things, are ways that I help deal with it. And so I've been having a lot of anxiety lately, especially in the gym. And like I had an incident the other night where I went out to the grocery store. I was in like an unfamiliar grocery store, and it was big, and I was looking for one particular item, and I was just like going up and down the aisles, and it was like my brain couldn't register where I was looking for peanut butter, and I went down the aisles like 4 times looking at all the signs above the aisles to see if it said peanut butter on it. And I was like, felt like I was going crazy almost, and my heart was beating really fast, and I was just like kind of had that kind of claustrophobic feeling. You guys know what I'm saying? Like that tightness in your chest a little bit. It's like kind of like everyone's looking at you, but at the same time you know they're not, but it's like you don't know what you're doing, and you think other people think that you don't know what you're doing, when in reality people probably think you know what you're doing, but you just don't know what you're doing. So things like that, and then especially that same mindset in the gym when you're doing an exercise or something in the gym. Like I go to the gym around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, guys. I have a break from work between 2 and 5, and I go to the gym. I get to the gym around 2:30. So after my warm-ups and stuff, it's pretty packed in the gym, right? You're around like 3:30, 3:45-ish. I'm starting to get into my workout, and the gym's starting to fill up at this point. So you're trying to grab the first bench or the first squat rack or whatever it is, wherever you like to do your stuff. And so at the same time, it's like you don't want to take up too much time, because you know that other people are probably waiting for it, but you want to give yourself enough rest so that you're able to hit your sets and your reps, right? And they have this whole wall of treadmills that are kind of just like looking at all the gym equipment, so it's like you're almost on the spot, it feels like. When in all reality, like in my head, that's what I feel like, but in all reality, the people probably don't even know I exist. So, but you just never know, and that's the kind of awkwardness of going to a public gym, right? You have to worry about how long it takes you. You have to worry about what you wear, in a sense. You have to worry about, you got to make sure that you have proper gym etiquette. Whereas if you had your own gym, things would be a little bit different, because you could do whatever you wanted to, right? And that's the ultimate goal for me, obviously, is to have my own gym where I don't have to worry about any of those things, and you don't have to worry about all the people there, and you feel like they're watching you. So like when you kind of get like that and your heart starts to beat really fast and you get in those situations where you just kind of have to go into the bathroom and recollect and just, focus for a second. I mean, it could be your pre-workout too, but it also could be some anxiety mixed with a lot of caffeine and stimulants. But at the same time, there's something to be said about anxiety kind of creeping its way into your life and you don't really expect it. Like, I never really thought that I had any of it before. I thought it was just depression, and then lately this is what I've been feeling. Those moments where you're just like, you're not really sure what you're doing. I just knocked this over. Or you do know what you're doing, but like, you don't want other people to think you don't know what you're doing, and then like when you're at the gym and you don't feel quite comfortable doing this certain exercise or whatever in front of all these people, or you don't feel like maneuvering the gym equipment around and making things less convenient for other people because you need to do something, things like that will set you back. Things like asking somebody for a spot or whatever. It's just like it kind of hinders your training because you can't really go as hard when you don't have the security, which is why you should always try to train with a partner, which I don't, and I haven't for a really long time now. And it definitely shows. Having a training partner, it's basically proven to increase the intensity of your workouts because you're trying to outdo somebody in the same element. So it causes you to push harder and push harder. And if you feel like you have somebody standing behind you in the squat rack or the bench, you're more likely to go for those extra two rather than just stop and be like, okay, I'm probably good right here. I mean, if I had a spot, I'd feel comfortable doing another two, but I don't have a spot, so I'm going to rack it. So that can kind of hinder your training at the same time. And that anxiety definitely doesn't help with making friendships, especially in the gym. When I'm in the gym, I'm kind of like in a tunnel mode where I'm just like try to get what I need to do done and then I'm out. I'm not there to make friends, obviously, but at the same time, it's kind of a weird concept to be like a public gym where a bunch of people do the same thing and they maneuver around each other, but like nobody ever really says a word. It's like people might know other people that only go to the gym. They may only know them from the gym. So they see them and they're like, hey, what's up? But majority of the people, like, I've never talked to anybody at my gym, so I just you go in and you, like I said, you maneuver around people. You understand body language from people and which way they're going, what you think they're going to use, where you think they're going to go, and things like that. But at the same time, nobody ever really says anything to each other, so it's almost like little lab rats, and we're just like going through the motions, but we don't ever really communicate with people. And I think that has to do with anxiety, and a lot of people just don't want to talk about it, or they don't feel comfortable just going up to somebody and just starting a conversation with them at the gym because you're afraid you might be interrupting somebody, or you don't want to bother somebody, or you're afraid you might get rejected, things like that. Anxiety stems from experiences like that. So the thing that I try to do to deal with it is just try to just close your eyes, and if you have like a word if I'm having a really stressed out time and I'm at the grocery store and I'm freaking out, like I'm having an episode or something, and I'll be like Cars or something that I like, and it'll bring me to a point where I can focus on Cars or something that makes me something that I enjoy, something other than what I'm doing at the moment, and it brings me back and I can focus on that one thing and be like, oh yeah, that's cool, like I like Cars. Another thing you could do too is you could try to alternate your breathing. Sometimes I breathe strictly in and out through my nose. I find that helps me calm down a lot faster. Or you can do the alternate nasal, in, out sort of thing. They incorporate that a lot in yoga, and obviously the in through the nose and out through the mouth just regular helps when you really just try to sit down and focus on what you're doing and what you need to be doing, and not worry about what other people think you're doing or think you're going to be doing or what you look like while you're doing it. And it's definitely hard when you have a packed gym to sit down and just visualize all that. Like, you feel like you're just sitting still and everybody else is just going in 10 times the speed, and you're just sitting there trying to focus on one thing. It's hard, but it's definitely, going to the public gym can also be a good thing because it can break you out of things like that and get you to engage in relationships and that can also be good for you, because if you never get out of the house and you only go to the gym at your house, then you never get, you don't go anywhere or anything. Going to the gym, public gym, could be good for you at the same time, so you get that social interaction. Myself, I'm more like an introvert, really, so I don't mind going to the public gym, and sometimes it kind of causes you to do better. It has an adverse effect. Like, sometimes when you feel like everyone's watching you, you kind of go to the next level, and then sometimes when you feel like people are watching you, you're like, I don't want to do bench today because I don't want to look like I suck only benching 125 pounds or whatever. And that's where you have to kind of step out of yourself, step out of your shell, and do what needs to be done. That's why I said focus on what you're there to do, and what you need to do to accomplish it, and try not to worry about everybody else, because if you get too overwhelmed, your breathing could be off, or you could choke on your gum. Anything can happen, and it could throw you off mid-set. It could cause an injury. It could, you don't want that. So definitely don't let it negatively affect you in the gym. Try to adverse and push past it, and kind of see the other side of it. Not just the negative side where you feel like you're not doing something right and everyone's looking at you because you're doing it wrong, and kind of thinking negatively like that. So it can definitely, like I said, hinder your training because you won't do things that you feel uncomfortable doing in front of people. Certain exercises you think they might be weird, or not a lot of people do them, so you don't want to try it in front of all these people first. Or you might be bad at this exercise, so you don't want to do it in front of all these people because you're weak. Which is funny because yesterday I did a heavy push day, and I think like back in October I posted a video when I started going to the gym. Like, I had two gyms. One was like machines and dumbbells, and the other gym was like had the bars and the benches and the racks and stuff. So I stopped benching, squatting, and deadlifting for the longest time because I didn't go to that gym anymore. And I started going back to that gym, and I started doing dips, just body weight dips. And I was so bad at dips, I think I only did like 5 or 10 pounds for like 8 or 10 reps, and I made a video on that on weekdays and how they happen, and not every day is going to be stronger than the last day. So I was like barely doing body weight dips, and then so that was April, so that was about 6 months ago, and I've been incorporating dips, weighted dips, a lot more in my routine, and now I get to the point where I can do it very fluently with a 45, and yesterday I did it with a 65 pounds and then 85 pounds. So I've never been a big, dip person. Maybe I could, at my strongest point, maybe 50 pounds for, a good handful of reps, but definitely not where I am now. And the point is it was embarrassing for me to do the dips at that point, because I felt like at that point I should be able to do more dips than that. but you just keep working on it and working on it and incorporating it and doing it more. And the more you do it, the stronger you're going to get at it, obviously. So that, and I was always worried about not doing discs because, like I said, I was like, I don't know if people are looking at me thinking I'm doing it wrong, or like, all these things that go through your head. And yeah, it was a pretty embarrassing day for me that day at the gym. I was doing like, I can't even remember now. I was doing like 205 on the bench for like 4 or something like that. And I was just, really beside myself, thinking that I had made all this progress all these years, and then I kind of backtracked. So my bench is definitely doing better now. So, which is what happens, when you stop doing bench and deadlift and squats for 7 months, you're gonna lose that, and you'll be better in other areas. So that's the kind of little video I wanted to say. Just, it does happen, and if you're one of those people, you're definitely not alone, because it happens to me. Lately, it's been happening a lot more than I'd like it to, but I'm doing my best, and I'm pushing through it, and I'm getting my workouts in, and that's the most important thing to me, is that I go there, and even if I do look silly or I do look stupid, and I always, if I have to look at myself in the mirror at the side to make sure that my back is straight or that my knees aren't crossing over my toes, or something like that, then that's fine. Like, that's just how I feel comfortable lifting. I don't like looking at myself straight in the mirror. I have to, when I'm deadlifting, I have to have a mirror on the left of me so I can check my form and make sure that I'm not breaking plane. So those are kind of just like the little things that you think about, like, at the gym. And yeah, you just, you got, like I said, focus on what you're there to do, what you're there to accomplish, and hopefully your workouts will go a little bit smoother. Sometimes it feels, like I said, it's hard. You get tight in the chest, your breathing messes up. Something could happen. You don't want to be deep down in the squat hole and your breathing messes up, or you don't want to be down here on the bench, on the wrong breath. So, especially when you don't have a spotter. So that's the video, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit like, comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you do to deal with your anxiety in the gym or anxiety in public places. Coping mechanisms you guys have, and share them with me. I'll share with you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.